Hello and welcome to a new video today. This is about CakeRed, which is our Node-RED extension. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can install CakeRed, so Node-RED, into one of your Datacake workspaces. For this demo, I've created, or I'm using a demonstration workspace where there are 10 sensors in it, different sensors, just some random sensor data on them. And on the same sidebar, you can see the integrations tab. If you click on that, there's this new element called CakeRed, and this brings you into the CakeRed settings. So first of all, we need to subscribe to CakeRed. CakeRed is an optional purchase option, but we do offer a 14 days trail. So that means you need to enter a credit card, but if you press on that buy button, you won't be charged for CakeRed within the first 14 days, and you can cancel at any time exactly here on the billing section. So let's do this. I already entered my credit card in here, so we can press on buy, and this will initiate the server spin up process. So what happens now is that when you apply for CakeRed, in the background, on our back end, we will spin up a server for you. So this is being placed and installed on our computational sensor completely. This server is being deployed automatically within our computational center. You can see here it's still installing, and in the integration settings, you can see that there is no stats yet, and we need to wait a couple of minutes until this process is completed. Spinning up this server needs some kind of time. It's like 10 to 15 minutes. And when your CakeRed instance has become ready, you will see this here in the status overview. So that's it. We can see, okay, there's the CPU stats, memory, disk, and whatever, and health stat. So to access this CakeRed on the sidebar, you now find the new element CakeRed. And if you click on that, you can see that there's no installing label anymore. And when you click on that, this will open up a new tab, which will bring you into the Node-RED view that you are familiar with if you know Node-RED. And as you can see here, it's being deployed on a separate domain. This domain name is derived from, or the subdomain, it's running on .cakered.io, but the subdomain is derived from your workspace name. Also, we do deploy a firewall before, so that means that it's super secure. It's not using the standard Node-RED security, but it's using a separate firewall, and we are working with JSON Web Tokens. That means that every time you want to access CakeRed, you need to click on the sidebar element. For example, if you would try to use, want to use this and open this up on an incognito window, this will bring you the message that it's not possible to open this up because of no JSON Web Token preset. Yeah, the Node-RED that we are using for CakeRed is the latest version, and it is not restricted. Means that you can, of course, let's search for IoT, and you can, of course, install them, and they will be added to your Node-RED in this instance here. There's some logging available, and if in any case your Node-RED instance requires restart, you can do this from within the integration and CakeRed settings. Also, we do have this firewall, and we do allow whitelisting of domains. So that means that you can add additional domains here if you are, for example, working with HTTP in requests. Then you could define these URLs here, and you could white label them, white mark them. So on the path allow list here, that means that these are accessible through the firewall and do not require any JSON Web Token authentication. So let me try to give you a few examples on how to work with CakeRed. So first of all, what we've also installed here with any CakeRed instance or the Node-RED is that we provide these Datacake nodes. You can simply drag and drop them, and they are pre-configured. If you double click on them, you can see, okay, this workspace here where this CakeRed was installed into is already listed in the configuration here. Let's select this, and then we can select one of the sensors or devices that are in this workspace. As you can see here, let's take sensor number 1. And let's choose this sensor here. And we can also say, okay, I want all measurements, but temperature, battery application. In this case, I want all measurements. And to show this to you, we can use the debug node. Let's connect this quickly. Press on deploy, go into the debug, and let's wait for some sensor data. And yes, there you can see this is the sensor data that was been sent also to the dashboard here a few seconds ago, which then is also forwarded into Node-RED, so Cake-RED. The same can be done with output nodes. That means that you can bring data or feed data back to devices in your Datacake workspace. This allows you to hook up additional services or export data from the Cake-RED itself. There's a couple of more cool things that you can do with it. For example, if a few of you are familiar with the Node-RED dashboard, let me show you how you can use that in Cake-RED. So first of all, let's install this Node-RED dashboard extension. Wait a few seconds until the installation is done. And yes, this looks perfect. Let's close this and scroll down a little bit, and we can see these dashboard elements in here. So why not make a short demonstration of this? We can use the gauge here, or gauge, add a new UI group. I just leave everything to default, just press on add. I don't want to make some boring changes here, which will make this video even more boring. And then I press on done. And I'm going to change this here to just temperature. And I'm simply going to connect it directly to that gauge. Press on deploy. And then I can open up this dashboard directly on this Cake-RED domain. And as you can see here, it's just not completely scaled in the way that we want this gauge to be. But if, for example, we put it to -200, press on deploy once more, we can see, okay, yeah, this is just working. So this is how you can deploy the Node-RED dashboard directly on this domain here and use it for your Datacake devices. For example, you can also design some interfaces with it. And the coolest thing about that is that, as you can see here, it's running on its own domain once more. And because of the firewall, if you would open that up in incognito window, so you just would give that domain to someone, it doesn't work because of the JSON web token. And this is where the firewall part kicks in. So we go back into our Node-RED settings here. Into the Node-RED settings, press on Cake-RED, and we add another path. So we just simply put in UI for the dashboard UI or any other additional UI that you have, path that you have been using. We press on save and deploy changes. So what happens now is that we add additional rules to our firewall and restart the whole container, and that takes a couple of seconds or minutes. And if it's ready, you will be able to whitelist this URL path, and you will be able to access the Node-RED dashboard with any encryption or a JSON web token. And this allows it to host this on like a monitor, something like that. Once restarting is done, you can see the ready flag here again on this health monitor. And let's copy this domain here, open this up in a new incognito window. And if I'm going to paste this here, this is not going to work because this path hasn't been routed. But for example, if I'm just entering the /UI, then you will see that the dashboard is now publicly available. And this happens through our firewall. This enables using the Node-RED dashboard on your own domain within Datacake. Yeah, so this is it. This was a very quick tutorial on how you can integrate Cake-RED into your workspaces. This tutorial will not cover how you use Node-RED because this is, I think, familiar with all of you who know Node-RED already. But I wanted to show you how easy it is to bring your workspaces data onto Datacake. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, or write us an email. And anything else is just covered in the documentation. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.